chair now. No. Trying to do this so you don't slobber in my face. Still getting hairs on my shirt though. People will complain. No, no. Stop trying to sneak in. Okay, you are not subtle. You are not a ninja. I want to discuss the possibility of photography dying. Cheery subject, I know. Is that better now? Have you unwound yourself? So, is you just stay up there? Okay. It's the only way it can be done. Which do you care more about? The dog hairs or the dog? Here's why I think photography is going to be basically a dead art in my lifetime. Computer graphics. I know, it sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. If you think about like computer renderings nowadays, the technology behind them, the processing power within computers and software has advanced so much now that computer graphics are becoming close to real life. You look at software like Blender, what artists are able to produce now. I have seen portraits created purely from 3D rendering in software like Blender, and it honestly looks exactly lifelike. Hell, even the other day I was watching a video of someone playing the new F1 2020 game, and it was an onboard video, and at first it genuinely took me 2 minutes of watching the onboard footage, and it was so silky smooth, it was so smooth, and the lighting looked so lifelike, I genuinely wasn't actually sure whether I was watching a video game or a real life promo video. And it got me thinking, if it's progressed this quickly in such a short space of time, bearing in mind 15, 20 years ago when I was growing up, the level of computer graphics in games was ridiculous compared to now. You know, I remember playing games like Zack McKracken and Indiana Jones, and they didn't look anything like remotely lifelike. And I honestly don't think it's going to be long before we reach a point where people struggle to distinguish between what is a genuine real-life photo and what is a computer graphic image. Now, I don't think we're quite at true to life yet. I have seen some software companies trying to demonstrate their software by saying this, you know, one of these is a true to life photo and one of them is computer generated. Can you tell which is which? And if you know what you're looking for, there are some subtle key differences between lifelike and computer generated to help you distinguish them apart. So I don't think we're at a point yet where computer generated is reaching truly lifelike, but I don't think it's going to be long before we reach that point. Now, that is obviously going to be just a point where you are able to create renderings that are true to life, but the renderings do still take an awful long time to do them. And obviously that is what software like Blender tries to do. It does try to make things quicker and more efficient for you, but, you know, it's not like a complete novice like me. I've never used Blender. I couldn't open Blender up and create anything like a true-to-life rendering. But that's kind of the progression that technology takes, in the people who are well in the know on how to do those things are able to do them while the people watch in awe. And then software starts to come out that makes everything easier and more intuitive. And before you know it, the complete morons are able to create really good results. And it wasn't that long ago we had Nvidia showing off that software where it looked kind of like Paint, where you literally picked, I want to draw a mountain or I want to draw a waterfall, and you just colour in the part of the scene where you want that to go, and it generated it for you. Within this generation, we are going to see software come out that is able to produce still images with true-to-life renderings that pretty much anyone can create. And I think that will spell the end, for the most part, of photography. There are obviously still going to be people who enjoy doing photography. They like going out and capturing those true-to-life moments. But it could arguably spell the end for at least some professional photographers. You know, you think some of like the maybe really big budget advertisements where they want some very extreme scene, it could cost a lot of money for a photographer to try and even mimic, hack that, if you like, using special effects and tricks and techniques. It could be a lot cheaper for someone to sit down at a computer and just falsify a rendering. We're already on that way to a degree, given the amount of work that goes into some images in Photoshop. People can take basic level images, mix and match them, and go crazy on edits and create this really surreal looking photo from basically nothing. That's having a pretty basic canvas and creating a pretty complex final image. That's one step away from having a completely blank canvas and creating an absolutely surreal image. And I know there will be people going, yeah, but CGI is not a real photo, it's cheating, it's not true to life. And I do agree. And for me, I would much rather go out and about with my camera and take the photo knowing that I have taken that photo. You feel a sense of pride in having took that photo rather than sitting there at a computer and just creating it from thin air. But the problem is that the viewing public and the companies that want to pay for these things to be created, they kind of don't care how the image is created, they just care how the image looks. And unfortunately, in trying to create an image entirely in real life, you are restricted by the physical boundaries of real life, which kind of limits what you're able to do. But CGI renderings, you're essentially limited only by your imagination. You can create whatever you like. And I wonder, in like 20, 30, 40 years' time, am I going to be having a conversation with my kids or my grandkids like my parents and grandparents used to have with me, going, tell you, you don't know you're born. You know, back when I was a lad, when I wanted to create a photo, I had to get a camera and go out, find a place that I like the look of, wait for the weather to be right, wait for the right time of day, maybe go back 3 or 4 times, and then had to set everything up, take the photo, and if I got it wrong, if it didn't work, I had to go back and do it all again. Whereas you kids now, you just draw on your tablet and boom, there's your image. And if you don't like it, you just squiggle it and boom, changed it again. You don't know you're born. He's back for the very end. But that's just my opinion. I can see that it's, within my lifetime, I think photography will not completely disappear, but will be less of a profession and back to just only for the hobbyists and the enthusiasts who, you know, like to reminisce about those things. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? What do you think the future of photography holds? Leave your thoughts and comments in the box down below. While you're down there, if you haven't already, please consider hitting the subscribe. Ow. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, or you like the dog, please consider giving it the old thumbs up. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.